Hello guys, welcome to Security Red vs Blue Team channel. In today's video, we'll be discussing on phishing attack using social engineering. So in this video, we'll mainly cover how can we perform a phishing attack using one of the available tool called SE Toolkit, which is Social Engineering Toolkit. So before getting started with the practicals, I think we have already covered the details of social engineering in our previous videos, where we mainly covered what is social engineering, why social engineering is a key risk when it comes to cybersecurity, and what are the important types of social engineering. So mainly, we have covered tailgating, dumpster diving, shoulder stuffing, and phishing attack. So in this video, we'll mainly cover phishing attack practicals. So let's get started. So as we already said, we need to have the SE toolkit, which is social engineering toolkit. That is one of the main requirement for the lab. So one must have a latest operating system. If it is a Kali Linux, then no need to install freshly. By default, the tool will be available. If it is not a Kali machine, or if it is any other flavors of Linux or Unix, then we need to install SE toolkit. So once SE toolkit is available, once we make sure that SE toolkit is available, just type SE toolkit in the machine, then you will be listed out with these options. So you can see social engineering attacks, fast track penetration testing, third party modules, update the social engineering toolkit, and update set configuration, SET configuration, and we have help and other credits options. So our main goal here, what we are focusing is like we are not covering all the options, but we are mainly covering credential harvesting. So mainly we are targeting to get the credentials of a remote of a particular domain, endpoint. So now, so for our scenario, let's select option one, which is social engineering attack. So the moment we select option one and press enter, will be listed out with these options, where inside social engineering attack we have these many options. We have spear phishing attack and website attack vectors, infectious media generator, create a payload and listener, mass mailer attack, Arduino based attack, and wireless access pointer attack. So we have many other like this. So for credential harvesting method, we need to select website attack vectors because we are targeting one of the URL. So in this case, we need to select option 2. Once you press option 2 and select press enter, next we need to select the credential harvester. So again, we can see like we have multiple options: Java applet, my Metasploit browser, credential harvester, tab nabbing attack, and so many more. So in our case, we need to select credential harvester attack method to grab the username password of the target by sending a duplicate page. So we need to select option 3, so which is credential harvester. So once that is done, we can see additional three more options, which is web templates, site cloner, and custom import. So here we can go with any of these depending on the input, the resources that we have. So but for our case, we are selecting option 2, which is the easier one, which is the site cloning method. When we select option 1, when the option 1 is predefined, it uses the predefined cloned pages, whereas option 3, they're used to get the cloned page from a source code like index or html files. So we're not going to that complexity of any of those two methods. Hence we are going with the site clone option. So we directly log into the website, and we'll try to clone that. So then once we select option 2, then it will ask you to deliver credentials that you're typing. So we need to pass the IP of the machine. So in our case, the attacker machine IP we need to give from where this is being performed. So in our case, the IP is 192.168.0.115. So you can check the IP address by using the fconfig command. So once I have the IP, so we need to place this in the place of IP address for the post bank in our harvester or tab nabbing. So this is how it looks like. So once you put your IP, you can see our IP 192.168.0.115. So once that is done, press enter. Now it will ask you to enter the URL. So here you can give whichever URL you wanted to test. So in my case, I have given a test website. So it is only okay, purely for testing purpose, which is alteromutual.com. This is kind of a demo website. So so in our case, the complete URL is http colon double slash alteromutual.com. So once I have this URL, then press enter. So once you give the URL and hit enter, so it will start cloning it. So you can see like cloning the website http. So the complete URL will start cloning it. So if you get any errors in the URL or any internet trouble, so that will make the cloning fail. So make sure that connectivity is proper always, and the URL is that you are providing is proper. So please make sure you have everything already in place before performing the cloning, or before even starting the testing of this SE toolkit functionality. So once that is done, after the clone completes, SE toolkit will try to check Apache web server is running or not in this machine. In case if it is running, your cloned page will be available in the web server and can be directly accessed by all users who can reach your network, basically your IP address in the network. So if Apache is not running, then SE toolkit will ask for permission to start it automatically, because that's how a victim can access to our log IP and redirect to what they wanted to do. So in my case, Apache is not running by default, so I'm just pressing yes, which is why. Then it will start in installing the Apache. So then it completes. So once it's completes, when it successfully starts the Apache server, SE toolkit will acknowledge that all the files are copied correctly, and you can wait to get the passwords. Like shown in the below image, hit enter. Just press enter to continue. Now one side of the work is done. So now what we need to do? We need to put this IP in the browser, or you can give this IP to the victim whom you want to test for testing purpose. Just make sure that they are able to reach this IP in the public domain, public network. Or if it is in the same network, just give them the IP and try to ask them to browse this IP. Now the target machine. Now in the target machine, if the victim tries to visit the attacker page, he can see Ultra Mutual login page asking the creditors to access the data. So the moment he types the IP, inputs the IP in the browser browsing section, then it will be redirected to the actual page of ultramutual.com. So you can see that we have given IP in the URL in the URL place. It has given this Ultra Mutual website, and please make note that this once again, to repeat, this is only a demo website, only for testing purpose. So that is why we have considered this. Don't try to do this in other websites and get caught. It's completely illegal to do on unofficial websites. This is only for testing purpose. So I have taken only a demo test site. So now, once the victim uses this IP in his browsing machine, it can be a server, it can be a desktop, or it can be his phone. So the page will be loaded. It'll ask to input the login details. So once we input the login details, let's say I'm giving the username and password. As this is a complete dummy website, which is demo only website, so the default credentials will be available in the Google itself. So you can put the username and password. Username is admin and password will be written in the page in the Google. So once you type admin, now the page will be logged in. It will be redirected to the home page. So now you can see that the website URL has been updated. It's updated to ultramutual.com/bank/main.jsp. So now these username and passwords will be sent to the attacker machine, and here the victim will be redirected to the original Ultra Mutual website in this time. So like how it is shown in the image below. So previously in the URL path, it was just an IP. Using the IP, we got the home page, initial page, like this. And then when we try to input the password and press login, then it is redirected to the next page, which is the after login home page, along with the new URL. So in our case, which is main.jsp. So now what happens? The username and password that is inputted in the previous slide, that has been transferred to the attacker machine. Now you can distinguish between these pages by looking at the address bar. So we just have to do go to the Apache default path, which is var html. That's the default location of the Apache. Now there will be a file in the name of harvester. So the full name will be like harvester hyphen harvester.log dot, and the date and the timestamp will be present in a text file format. So you just have to less the file or cat the file, so you can see what is the LSD, what's the display, what's the is it a private one, and what's the time zone, what's the email password default persistent. So all these details will be present. So we just masked some of the details like email and password a little bit. So here you can see the actual password that is being passed. So the whatever the password that is present, that can be seen in the password section. So here, in this way, like if you try to manipulate any website and clone to some URL, then if you give that IP to the victim, then victim uses that IP to open the website. In that case, the moment they input the details, then it will be sent back to the attacker machine. Then attacker can see what they have inputted. So this is how the social engineering technique can be successfully exploited. So that's it, guys. That's it with respect to social engineering. So we mainly covered like how to use the SE toolkit, and we just explored one of the option, which is the site cloning, which mainly for the credential harvesting. Similarly, we have so many options in the available in nowadays in Google as well as Play Store and many other places. And we just want to ensure that this is mainly performed in the lab environment. The credentials whatever that is used in the image are just for the testing purpose. So if required, try to replicate in the personal app. And also there are like try to practice several other social engineering techniques like shoulder surfing, tailgating, and try to get some data from your friends and family. But remember, this not going to be legal. For cell ID spoofing in the internet, we have several apps in the Play Store like caller ID changer. So basically, like you can put the caller name to the one whom you are calling, the other party, as the caller name, so that they will be confused. How can a call confirm from the same number what they are having? So similarly, so many other stuffs you can do, and we can put some junk ID. In this case, if you can see the caller ID 166666, and two is the genuine number something, then dial it, and there it will give an option to change male voice to female voice and female voice to male voice. So it's available in the Play Store, which is called caller ID changer. So similarly, we have multiple options like call to friends, where you can call multiple friends, but at the same time, it's not completely free. Initially, 1 or 2 minutes it will give free. Then later you need to charge. I think these kind of apps will be useful when you travel abroad, where you doesn't have a local SIM. You can just use the internet, just use it for first call free or something like that. Even we have tried that when we've been to abroad in one of these apps. Next comes like similarly like how we have call spoof and many other stuff. We have email spoofing as well. This is one of the reference like we have emks.cz, where you can keep the from email, from name, and to subject, and to whom you are sending, and the content. You can just send a mail, that's it. You don't need anything. You don't need to have your own personal email ID to send a mail to another one. You can just use this website to send the mail. So you can see something like we have a happy birthday message from Bill Gates, but however the email says googlebot at microsoft.com, and you won lottery from Google, sponsored by Microsoft. So we can send these kind of phishing or junk mails, the spam mails, making them this is genuine. So that's it, guys. That's with respect to social engineering. So in this video we mainly covered how to use social engineering toolkit, which is SE toolkit, and how to perform a phishing attack using SE toolkit, mainly for credential harvesting. So thank you, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe.